How does a quiet, introverted kid from a small Ontario town rise to become one of Canada's most notorious counterfeiters? Wesley Weber didn't rely on muscle or violence. Instead, he used his brain, a basic inkjet printer, and a near-obsessive attention to detail to create fake $100 bills, so convincing that even bank inspectors were fooled. But why would someone with his intelligence and potential turn to crime? How did he manage to stay ahead of the authorities for years? And what single, careless mistake led to the downfall of his elaborate operation? This is the extraordinary story of Wesley Weber, a tale of ambition, perfectionism, and the devastating consequences of a life driven by greed. Early life, a taste for trouble. Born in 1974 in River Canard, a small town near Windsor, Ontario, Wesley Weber seemed like an ordinary child. From an early age, he developed a fascination with computers and technology, spending hours learning coding and tinkering with algorithms. However, this love for machines came at a social cost. Wesley's introverted nature and obsession with technology made him an outcast among his peers. Desperate to fit in, Wesley teamed up with a friend to commit a daring crime in his teenage years. The duo robbed their own high school, stealing equipment worth $270,000. The heist was so brazen that newspapers speculated professional thieves from Detroit were behind it. For Wesley, the crime served its purpose. It thrust him into the spotlight and brought him the social attention he craved. Entering the world of forgery, Wesley's success with the high school robbery gave him a taste for illegal activity. He began forging documents, including welfare cards, checks, and insurance certificates. His precision and skill allowed him to produce convincing fakes, but it wasn't long before he was caught. In 1997, Wesley was sentenced to 3 months in jail for forgery. Rather than deterring him, the experience motivated him to aim higher. Wesley wanted more than petty forgery. He dreamed of wealth and power. By the late 1990s, he set his sights on counterfeiting currency, a crime that promised enormous rewards if done correctly. Perfecting the craft of counterfeiting. Wesley's early attempts to counterfeit $100 bills were far from perfect. The fake bills were easy to spot, lacking critical security features like UV resistance and holographic foils. But Wesley was nothing if not persistent. He spent countless hours studying real bills, analyzing their textures, colors, and security elements. His research revealed that two key features distinguished authentic $100 bills: a security foil that shifted colors when tilted, and a UV-resistant texture that real bills possessed. To replicate these, Wesley posed as a legitimate businessman to source specialized materials from unsuspecting suppliers. His meticulous nature and sharp mind enabled him to gather everything he needed to produce highly convincing counterfeit bills. Building a team. Realizing that he couldn't scale the operation alone, Wesley recruited a team of skilled partners. Each member brought specific expertise to the table. One was responsible for applying the optical security foil, another handled the clear coating process, and a third managed the overall production. Together, they worked like a well-oiled machine, producing counterfeit bills that were nearly indistinguishable from genuine currency. Wesley's team didn't stop at creating flawless bills. They developed innovative techniques to make their counterfeit money appear circulated. For instance, they tumbled the freshly printed bills in a dryer with poker chips and clay, mimicking the wear and tear of real currency. These efforts ensured that their fake bills could pass through the entire economic chain undetected. The rise of a counterfeit empire. By the early 2000s, Wesley and his team had turned their counterfeiting operation into a highly profitable business. Using an ordinary inkjet printer, they could produce $100,000 worth of fake currency in a single run. Their bills began flooding the market, blending seamlessly with genuine money. Flush with cash, Wesley and his associates began living extravagantly. They purchased luxury cars, designer clothes, and expensive homes. Wesley himself became obsessed with his newfound wealth, often staying awake for 20 hours at a stretch to shop and spend. However, the crew's greed also led to carelessness. Their flashy lifestyles drew attention, and cracks began to appear in their operation. The mistake that changed everything. In 2000, Wesley made a critical error that would lead to his empire's downfall. He used counterfeit bills to pay for custom rims for his Mustang. The dealer, while inspecting the payment, noticed something suspicious. Several bills had identical serial numbers. The dealer reported the fake money to the authorities, sparking an investigation. Law enforcement agencies quickly identified Wesley and his team as suspects. The raid and arrest. After months of surveillance, authorities raided Wesley's operation. The sight that greeted them was astonishing. Over $250,000 in counterfeit bills scattered across tables, along with equipment capable of producing millions more. Wesley and his associates were arrested and charged. During the trial, it became clear that Wesley was the mastermind behind the operation. While his team members received 2-year sentences, Wesley was sentenced to 5 years in prison for his role as the operation's leader. Life after prison, Wesley was released in 2006, but his criminal tendencies didn't end there. He ventured into unregistered financial consulting and even founded a cryptocurrency startup. He also became involved in the cannabis industry, often skirting legal boundaries. Despite these new ventures, Wesley's past continued to haunt him. His name remains synonymous with one of Canada's most infamous counterfeiting operations. Lessons from Wesley's story. Wesley Weber's story is a cautionary tale of ambition gone astray. His intelligence and creativity could have led to great success in legitimate fields, but his obsession with quick wealth drove him to crime. While his counterfeit bills remain a symbol of his ingenuity, they also serve as a reminder of the heavy price of greed. Wesley's rise and fall highlight the risks of misusing talent and the inevitability of justice. His legacy, though tainted by crime, offers valuable lessons on the importance of channeling ambition into productive and ethical pursuits. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe the channel.